Splashing onto the stage in 2024 was a brand new Soul-style game with a twist. I am of course talking about Another Crab's Treasure, developed by the aptly named Aggro Crab. You play Krill, a hermit crab happily enjoying himself whilst chilling in a tide pool. That is until Krill rudely learns that he should have been paying taxes to the local crustacean queen. Side note, she's actually a duchess, but that's not alliterative or cool. Krill sets off to buy back his home and is plunged into a rubbish-laden sea where strange things are happening to the locals. He must battle his way through the ocean to save its people, and life will never be the same again. I should start by saying that I played this on a PS5, although it is available on most platforms, and I'll also only be using footage from the early stages of the game just to prevent any spoilers. The game follows a classic Souls system whereby combat is the main focus, with relentless boss battles and enemies who respawn every time you rest. Just like the best Souls games, Another Crab's Treasure doesn't succeed just because of the combat, but because it is supported by a visually stunning world with depths of lore and character building that keep you coming back for more even after you've died for the 37th time. You'll level up and find new enhancements as you progress, which will make combat more intuitive if not easier, and will allow you to experiment along the way as you work through cities of trash and chemically enhanced monsters of the deep. Unlike most popular Souls-style games, Another Crab's Treasure also includes a difficulty option, whereby you can ask the game to give you a bit of a break with certain options that will make combat simpler and allow you to progress with a little bit more ease. I say a little bit more because the game is still relentless even on story mode, and having tried all options, there isn't one where I'd say death is less than a few good hits away. I'll be honest, if you don't enjoy Souls games, then the accessibility options will not make this a walk in the park, and if this is a deal breaker, then Another Crab's Treasure probably isn't for you. I personally teeter on the edge of hating Souls games, and I did have to walk away from my PlayStation multiple times, even just in my first few hours of playing this game. Of course, if you really want to play this game and don't want to worry about the combat, you can check the box to give Krill a gun, which will kill even bosses with one shot, which really rather defeats the point of playing this game. So your options are basically a Souls game, a slightly easier but still infuriating Souls game, or John Wick Under the Sea. Enemies are varied within the underwater variety and come with a range of attack styles that keep you on your toes at all times. I don't think there was ever a point even towards the end of the game where I felt like I was the boss of the ocean. Every encounter had me anxiously making the age-old choice of fight or flight, which was exhilarating and a little bit addictive. I didn't expect to dedicate quite so much of my time to this game, but found myself gripped and trying to make it to one more moon snail shell save point before I stopped for the night. The game also doesn't hold your hand when it comes to activities and tasks, so it can be easy to get a bit confused or lost if you're not paying attention to what you need to do. The good news is that the world isn't massive, so whilst you may not be sure where you're headed, you'll never be too far away from the next goal and will often get cleverly funneled into going to the right place if you just let the current take you. They say one man's trash is another crab's treasure, and this is quite literally true, as Krill can trade in pieces of plastic and other crap, or even use them as armour with special attacks depending on the item. I particularly like the party hat shell that blasts high-speed confetti at an enemy. Levelling up and purchasing new items are done through the use of microplastics, the microscopic bastards that still continue to make it into the news and into our digestive systems IRL. As you may have guessed, the game is clearly making a statement about the state of our oceans, and coded into every scene is the idea that Krill's problems have been directly caused by human beings. This isn't a virtue signalling operation, however, and there's some really clever ideas worked into the game, such as the Duchess's weapon being a tea strainer, and quips in conversation of an anti-capitalistic come materialistic nature. Add in the cute animation style and Krill's insipid voice, and you have a beautiful balance of game and social commentary that has really actually impressed me. Whilst Another Crab's Treasure won't be my favourite game of 2024, that is purely due to personal preference for game style, and I'm really pleased that I risked buying this game because it's actually been really refreshing, even if it wasn't a walk in the kelp forest. It also cost about half as much as the average AAA game and has plenty to offer aside from the main plotline. It's a fun but damning look at our impact on this world, and if you only take one thing away from the game or this review, it should be don't dump shit in the sea, kids, and recycle your goddamn carrier bags.